Next is ordering of unlike fractions. Ascending order. Ascending order means arranging fractions from the smallest to the greatest. In ascending order, we write the smallest number first and then the greatest one. For example, 2 by 5, 2 by 3, 2 by 9 and 2 by 4. Now let's arrange these fractions in ascending order. Look at the denominators carefully. Denominators are 5, 3, 9 and 4. Recall the rule. In unlike fractions, the smaller the denominator, the greater is the value of the fraction. So, according to the rule, 2 by 3 is the greatest one and 2 by 9 is the smallest one. So first we will write 2 by 9, then 2 by 5, then 2 by 4 and lastly 2 by 3. Countdown Book 3, page 114. Question 2. Write these in ascending order. Part A is already solved and fractions are 1 by 6, 1 by 2 and 1 by 4. It is solved as 1 by 6, 1 by 4 and 1 by 2. 1 by 6 is the smallest fraction and 1 by 2 is the greatest one. So fractions have been arranged from the smallest to the greatest. Question 2, Part B. Fractions are 2 by 3, 2 by 10 and 2 by 5. Look at the denominators carefully. Denominators are 3, 10 and 5. Recall the rule. In unlike fractions, the smaller the denominator, the greater is the value of the fraction. According to the rule, 2 by 3 is the greatest one and 2 by 10 is the smallest one. So we will write 2 by 10 first, then 2 by 5, then 2 by 3. Ordering of unlike fractions. Descending order. Descending order means arranging fractions from the greatest to the smallest. In descending order, we write the greatest number first and then the smallest number. For example, fractions are 2 by 5, 2 by 3, 2 by 9 and 2 by 4. Let's arrange these fractions in descending order. Again, recall the rule for arranging the fractions. Rule is, in unlike fractions, the smaller the denominator, the greater is the value of the fraction. Now, look at the denominators carefully. Denominators are 5, 3, 9 and 4. According to the rule, fraction 2 by 3 has the smallest denominator and it has the greatest value. So first, we will write 2 by 3, then 2 by 4, then 2 by 5, then 2 by 9. Countdown Book 3, page 114. Question 3. Write these in descending order. Part A is already solved and fractions are 1 by 4, 1 by 3 and 1 by 10. It is solved as 1 by 3, 1 by 4 and 1 by 10. In descending order, we write the greatest fraction first and then the smallest one. So, 1 by 3 is the greatest one and 1 by 10 is the smallest one. Question 3, Part B. 2 by 6, 2 by 8 and 2 by 5. Look at the denominators carefully. Denominators are 6, 8, 5. Fraction 2 by 5 has the smallest denominator and it has the greatest value. So we will write first 2 by 5, then 2 by 6, then 2 by 8. Comparing fractions with different denominators, there are two examples given. In both these examples, denominators are different and fractions are compared on the basis of different denominators. After comparing the fractions, we have to tell that which fraction is greatest and which fraction is smallest. Let's have a look at first example. Fractions are 2 by 5, 2 by 4 and 2 by 3. Look at the denominators. All the denominators are different. Now compare the fractions and tell which fraction is the greatest and which fraction is the smallest. According to the rule of unlike fractions, 2 by 3 is the greatest fraction and it is encircled. and 2 by 5 is the smallest fraction and there is a tick on the smallest fraction. Come to second example, and fractions are 1 by 5, 1 by 4 and 1 by 3. Look at the denominators. Denominators are different and on the basis of different denominators, fractions are compared. After comparing the fractions, we have to tell which fraction is greatest and which fraction is smallest. Then we have to encircle the biggest fraction and take the smallest one. As you can see in the example, 1 by 3 is the greatest fraction, so there is a circle around it. And 1 by 5 is the smallest fraction, so there is a tick on it. Countdown Book 3, page 115. Question 4. Circle the biggest, tick the smallest. Part A is already solved and fractions are 1 by 4, 1 by 8, 1 by 6, 1 by 3, 1 by 2 and 1 by 9. As you can see, there is a circle around 1 by 2 because it is the greatest fraction, and there is a tick on 1 by 9 because it is the smallest fraction. Question 4. Circle the biggest, tick the smallest. Part B. Fractions are 4 by 5, 4 by 10, 4 by 7, 4 by 9, 4 by 8 and 4 by 6. Look at the denominators. 5, 10, 7, 9, 8 and 6. All the denominators are different. Now compare the fractions. According to the rule, in unlike fractions, the smaller the denominator, the greater is the value of the fraction. So fraction 4 by 5 is with smaller denominator. So this fraction is greatest. Circle fraction 4 by 5. Fraction 4 by 10 is the smallest one. So put a tick on the fraction 4 by 10. Part E. Fractions are 1 by 5, 1 by 10, 1 by 7, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, 1 by 8. Look at the denominators. All the denominators are different. Again recall the rule and solve it. Fraction 1 by 3 is with smaller denominator, so this fraction is greatest. Circle fraction 1 by 3. And fraction 1 by 10 is smallest fraction, so put a tick on the smallest fraction.